Now, we all know motivation fades. Anyone can be pumped up on day one, but what about day 30, day 100? There will be days when it's the last thing you want to fucking do. That's where discipline kicks in. Discipline is what makes you show up when the motivation's gone. And the motivation will be gone more often than it's there. Because real strength, that's built through the grind, through the days when you don't want to be there, but you go anyway. All right, early risers, welcome back to Before the Sun. Today we're getting gritty with the gym, talking about something essential for all of you who are serious about making lasting changes. The power of consistency. You want to build strength one rep at a time? Then this one is for you. Let's get one thing straight. Building muscle, building strength, it doesn't happen overnight. There's no magic pill, no hack. It's you showing up day after day, week after week, bringing your best to the gym each and every time. Consistency is the name of the game. Why? Because the body adapts to what you put it through, but that adaptation needs repeated stimulus. If you want to see growth to actually feel your progress, you've got to be consistent as hell. Think of it like this. If you work out once or twice a week, yeah, maybe you'll feel the burn, maybe you'll even get a pump. But real change, that comes from the compound effect of hitting those weights regularly. It's about stacking tiny daily improvements that add up over time. That's where the magic lies. So let's get into some of the science behind this. When you lift weights, you're essentially creating tiny tears in your muscle fibers. Your body's response? To repair those fibers, building them back bigger and stronger. This process is called hypertrophy, and it doesn't just happen overnight or in one workout. Each session builds on the last. By consistently lifting, you're signaling to your body that it needs to keep adapting. But if you're inconsistent, those adaptations start to fade. And here's the kicker. Our bodies are efficient. If you're hitting the gym once or twice a week with no regularity, your body doesn't see the need to get any stronger. It adapts to the demands you've placed on it. So if those demands are few and far between, well, it's not going to work to build any extra muscle. But if you show up, consistently pushing those muscles to their limits, it's got no choice but to adapt and grow stronger. Every session is like telling your body, get ready. We're going harder next time. Now let's talk about someone who embodies the power of consistency. David, the man, Goggins. The man's a beast. An ultra marathoner, ex-Navy SEAL, and an absolute inspiration when it comes to discipline. He didn't start as some super athlete. In fact, there was a time when he was out of shape, facing serious struggles, but through daily, consistent effort, he completely transformed his body and his mind. He shows up every day, relentlessly, and pushes himself. That's what consistency can do. Goggins doesn't wait until he's motivated or feeling good. He gets up and puts in the work every day, no excuses. That's the mindset you need if you're serious about building strength. Whether it's weights, running, or any kind of training, consistency is where champions are made. So how do you build consistency? It starts with realistic goals. Don't say you'll hit the gym every day for 2 hours if you know that's not sustainable. Set a target you know you can stick with. For most people, a solid 3 to 5 days a week is more than enough to make huge progress. And once you've got that routine locked in, stick to it. No skipping, no excuses. One trick that works for a lot of people is to schedule your workouts like they're non-negotiable appointments. Make it a part of your day, a priority that's on par with anything else. And on those days that you're not feeling it, that's when you got to push yourself to show up anyway. You're building habits here, and each time you show up when you don't want to, that habit gets stronger. Now, we all know motivation fades. Anyone can be pumped up on day one, but what about day 30, day 100? There will be days when it's the last thing you want to fucking do. That's where discipline kicks in. Discipline is what makes you show up when the motivation's gone. And the motivation will be gone more often than it's there. Because real strength, that's built through the grind. Through the days when you don't want to be there, but you go anyway. And if you miss a day, don't let it throw you off. One missed workout isn't going to kill your progress, but letting it spiral, using that as an excuse to slack, that's when you lose momentum. Learn from it and get back in there the next day. Building strength, like anything worthwhile, takes resilience and determination. Sylvester Stallone is another powerhouse who exemplifies what it means to show up for yourself. When he was working on Rocky, he was still a struggling actor, broke and almost out of options. But he trained like an animal. He knew that if he wanted to look like a fighter, he had to work for it. Day in and day out, he hit the gym, pushed himself, and sculpted his body to match his vision. Stallone didn't just try, he committed, and that's the difference. He put in the work every single day to create the version of himself that could handle the role. So remember, every time you hit the gym, you're building that version of yourself rep by rep. Let's get into some practical tips here. First off, track your workouts. This is so important, it's unbelievable. Write down what you did, how much weight you lifted, and how many reps. That way, you can see your progress over time. It's a great motivator to keep going when you can actually look back and see how much you've improved. Another tip, find a workout partner if you can. Someone who will hold you accountable, push you, and help keep you consistent. Or if you prefer training solo, find a community. Whether it's online or in person, that keeps you motivated. We've all got days when we're not feeling it, but knowing someone else is in the grind with us, that can keep pushing you. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a legend for a reason, and his journey to the top wasn't by accident. He was obsessed with consistency. He didn't miss a single workout, even when it meant training through exhaustion or long hours. In his early days, he would do anything to get to the gym and put in the reps. He became one of the greatest because he refused to give up, even when things got hard. Arnold's success came from the same thing we're talking about today, showing up every single time and putting in the work. He didn't rely on motivation, he made a commitment. That's what consistency looks like at the highest level. Consistency is where you separate yourself from the rest. Anyone can show up once or twice, but the champions, they show up relentlessly. They're not doing this for anyone else, they're doing it for themselves. Every day you're putting in the work, you're becoming stronger, not just physically, but mentally too. Do this for yourself. You can have other people in the back of your mind that help push you, your kids, your family, your wife, but you have to want to do it for yourself. You're only going to succeed if it's something you truly want. So get after it. Early risers, this is the journey to greatness. One rep at a time, one session at a time. Show up for yourself, make no excuses, and keep stacking those wins. Because the real reward isn't just the strength you build, it's the person you become through the grind. That's it for today's episode. Remember, early risers, each day you're consistent is a day you're moving closer to your goals. Now hit me up at speakpipe.com/beforethesun and tell me about your journey, your grind, and how you're pushing yourself before the sun rises. And as always, get the fuck up. Go.